So, Glasgow Coma Scale, the criterion being that in order to meet catastrophic impairment, that one must have a score of 9 or less, according to a test administered within a reasonable period of time after the accident by a person who is trained or appropriately qualified to administer the GCS. So, some of the issues that have, it seems very straightforward, but a couple of the key points that have come before the case law and are still kind of open to determinations in terms of how they become interpreted include, so who is considered to be a person trained? Any sense in terms of who would be considered to be trained or qualified to perform a GCS? Yes. Yes, absolutely. I think you said the same thing.
Any first responder.
Any first responder, yes. Anyone beyond first responder? ER nurse, physician, very good, okay. Now within a reasonable period of time. So one question's come up, so can a GCS be done retrospectively, for example? Any sense of that? No, yes, no? Certainly can be ongoing, that's right. What if, so oftentimes this is the scenario, right? So a first responder shows up maybe 15, 20 minutes after the fact, and the lay people around will say this person was unconscious until 2 minutes before you got here. Can a GCS be done retroactively in that sense? No, okay, that's right. Sorry? Yes, there are specific tests involved, but okay, so let's say, okay, we tried to shake him, and then we tried to pinch him, and we tried to yell at him, and he didn't respond. Sure. Okay. So very clearly, it really has to actually be fully administered. It can't be done retrospectively, utilizing the information by lay people. Okay. How about a reasonable period of time? Any sense in terms of what a reasonable period of time would be? As soon as possible, any time. Okay. Okay. So what if you have one that's 8 days later? Depends on their condition. Okay. 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 Any other opinions around what a reasonable period of time would be relative to, say, 8 days later? Sorry? No further comments? No? Okay. So basically, the rule of thumb there, according to the emerging case law, is that one has to be able to draw that line of material contribution. Okay, so if you have an individual where very clearly they end up having a non-related CVA, stroke, 8 days later, and one really couldn't establish that as being accident-related because there was no evidence of anything besides maybe a very, very, very minor TBI from the very beginning, no. But certainly if you have somebody who had a significant impairment, brain trauma from the get-go, and then maybe had been unstable, and then perhaps the nature of the bleed was such that the neurosurgeon involved, for example, were able to quite clearly express an opinion that this was related to the initial brain trauma, then certainly that GCS below 9, 8 days later would still be valid in terms of consideration for catastrophic impairment.